I'm going to take you down memory lane again. So the year was 2014 and NGNG was about 6 or 7 years old and we were doing well. I mean, multiple six-figure business, just trying to find our way. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, I think still back then, I thought that NGNG was maybe a stepping stone to something else that I would experience in my lifetime for my career. I don't think that I looked at NGNG as like a business and, where I really wanted to pour my soul into for the long term until honestly, probably closer to about 10 years into the company. But I was grateful for it. I worked very hard for it. I took it very seriously and our results really mattered to me. Like I said, I took it personally. But in the year 2014, I woke up on a Saturday morning and I had this lightning bolt of inspiration. Have you ever had that? And all of a sudden, I got this idea for creating an online summit. So imagine sort of a conference, but virtual. And again, this was still way back before the online world was what it was today. But that morning, I thought, I'm gonna do a summit. I'm gonna stick my neck out there with some of the people that I've met up to this point, and I'm going to interview them and put on a whole show. And what could it be? What could it be? And I started thinking what the name could be. And I called it the Authentic Business Success Summit. And gosh, even thinking back, I burst out of bed. I went downstairs to my computer. I went to the 99 Designs logo store and bought a logo that I really liked. I started coding a whole website around ABSS. And the idea was born. Reached out to a few people in my network to see if they'd be willing to have me interview them. And I have to tell you, I was scared to death to do this. I think one of the first people that I asked was Hal Elrod. And, Hal's in my Cutco family, love the guy, but I had never asked for anything like this before. And I wasn't even like, I'd never run a summit before. And who am I, right? Do you ever feel some of these things? Come on, let's just be honest about it. It's scary sticking our neck out into the world sometimes. But you know what? NGNG, no guts, no glory. So I had a blast putting on this event. And on YouTube, there are a couple of interviews where other professionals have interviewed me about all of the different things that I did and put into that summit. I mean, I went all in. I was so proud of myself. It took 4 or 5 months of planning and preparation to put this summit on. And I put all of my eggs in this basket. NGNG was still building websites and doing things, but I mean, I was distracted. I remember Hal was actually the first person that I interviewed, and we were doing it on Google Hangouts. I was so sweaty and nervous. I don't even think Hal knows this. I should tell him. And I interviewed him, and it was so exhilarating and fulfilling and exciting. And then I interviewed Mike Michalowicz and John Lee Dumas and, all of these amazing individuals. And they were hour-long interviews, sometimes a little bit more. I had a terrible backdrop. I mean, it was early in my career. It was great. It was amazing. We had 15 interviews. I bundled them and packaged them for sale. And then half of all proceeds I said was going to go to charity. And what I did is I had each of the speakers stand for their own charity. And so somebody would pick Charity Water or Wounded Warrior or, all of these different charities. It was a blast. We ended up donating about $16,000 to charity as a result of the summit. And I even had like an internal voting that you could log into the website and look at the interviews and vote for which interview was your favorite. Hal ended up winning that one. And we ended up donating, I think it was $5,000 to his charity because of that. Front Row Foundation is who he chose. And it was exciting. I mean, even in terms of like picking the 15th speaker, I did a whole online voting, and you could nominate our final speaker. And that's how Nancy Solomon came in. Beautiful woman, beautiful soul, super smart. And it was just really special. But I put all of my eggs in this basket, and I wrote the copy, and I designed the pages, and I built a shopping cart, and I did the bonuses, and I sold sponsorships. And I mean, all out, you guys, all out. When the Authentic Business Success Summit launched, I had such a smart strategy of how I got the speakers involved to do mass promotion and this and that. And I have to tell you, at the very back end, when we closed down the launch period, I missed my sales goal by a lot. Like a lot, like the kind that you don't even want to say out loud to people. Like it just pains you every time you think about it. And it was a real oh shit moment for me. Oh shit. Because what I had done is I put all of my time and energy into the summit thinking I was going to hit it big, and I didn't. And then I had taken away time where I was not selling websites and building up NGNG cash flow. So I had a really intense moment where a lot hit all at once, and all of the expenses I had accrued for that launch. It's not that it wasn't a successful campaign. It's that I missed my expectation, right? I made some assumptions. I shot too high. I fell short. And I put too many eggs in one basket. That's what happened. Huge learning moment for me, very painful, because my confidence was shot. And I thought, wow, other people can do it, but I can't, right? Have you been there? Have you had a failed launch, or it wasn't what you thought, and you make these assumptions about other people's launches and you just feel like such a loser at the end of it all? And it was so bad. I had gotten down, our cash reserves had gotten down to a point where I was actually having conversations with my dad about where I would get a job. I mean, that's really at the point that we got to, because I'm a very financially responsible business owner. I've never been in debt. I don't have investors or creditors. I was always cash positive, and I'm not willing to go into debt in the company. That's just not ever who I've wanted to be as a business owner. And so, my cash reserves were getting down to a place where I was just really scared. I had a mentor back then named Eric, and he said, Amber, you're going to have to dig into the trenches and dig yourself out of this. You can do this. And, your mind is wavering and your emotions are flaring. And what I ended up doing was I sent an email out to my email community, which was pretty small back then, maybe a couple thousand people. And I just said, hey, does anybody want a free coaching call? A couple people signed up. And then I also went into Google one day, and I thought, I'm just going to do some cold outreach, I guess, to a couple of, people, and see if I can scrounge up some website redesigns. Oh my gosh. I felt like such a loser. I just did, I was embarrassed, and it really, challenged everything that I thought I knew about myself. And as an expert in online business development, like, ouch, And so I thought, what coaches could I work with? And I don't know, I just randomly thought of divorce coaches. So I go into Google and I type in divorce coaches, and one at a time I went down and I looked at everybody's websites, and there were websites that I was like, meh. Other websites where I thought, this person looks like a really nice person. And I would observe their website, and I'd reach out to their contact form, and I'd say, hi, Deborah, my name's Amber, and I'm not trying to spam you. I was looking at your website, and I happened to observe that you do this well and this well, but these areas you could really up level them. And I think it would help you get better results. I build websites, so I'm sorry if I overstepped. If there's anything that you want to pick my brain, I'm happy to get on a call with you. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. I sent out 50 of those spammy I called them cold call emails back then. And I sent out about 50 of those emails, and I just felt so gross at the end of it. Like, I don't even know why. I was down on myself, and I was playing victim probably. And so I just thought, man, I guess that's it. Good run while it lasted. All of a sudden, a number of those people reached out and booked on my calendar, as well as the people from my email list doing a free coaching call. I had about 15 calls total out of that effort. And honestly, that was enough to save the company. We sold websites, I sold some coaching packages, and then boom, it was enough to get us back on track and focused forward. So I guess I wanted to share that video with you and that story with you because it's not all rosy over here. I mean, every business is going to go through some really, really scary moments. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And honestly, I think that if I look back and how I made it to this point, 15 years later, just hitting Inc. 5000, it's because of my discipline. At the end of the day, I remember early on, people would say, how can you work at home? Isn't that hard? I'd be so tempted to go out to lunch with my friends and do laundry and just watch TV. No, I got dressed professionally. I put my makeup on and I sit down at 8 a.m. on the dot and I'd go to work. And then at 5 p.m., I would stop working. And I was just always so disciplined, especially on the things that I didn't want to do. I did not want to do cold outreach to divorce coaches to try to get some website redesign sales. But you do what is necessary. You put your ego and your victimhood and your crap aside, and you remember your cause. Which for me, I knew that we were doing something really special here at NGNG that nobody else was doing. I am not transactional. I don't do templated cookie cutter stuff. My work is genuine, and I'm here to really lean in with authors, speakers, and coaches and help them help others, because that fulfills me as a person. And, that's it. You have discipline, you have focus, you do the things that other people are not willing to do, because most people want to just wait and have success come to them. Well, good luck, honey, because you're going to be waiting a while. You've got to go out there and talk to people and stick your neck out, even when it's scary and hard and you've been burnt 100 times. Keep going, because the world needs whatever is inside of you, right? You have your own mixture of experiences and education and connections. Do something with it. No guts, no glory, right? I have more fun stories to share. I'll see you on the next video. I would love any comments about what this video meant to you. And I just appreciate your time watching. Thanks so much.